fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live on a beautiful Monday evening. It's some fight talk time. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy, Mike Finch. We're talking Noche UFC. What's up, big dog?
The fighting nerds got exposed, brother. We saw some of it with Carlos Prates getting out wrestled by Ian Gary, but we really fucking saw the wrestling problem and the jiu-jitsu with Rufy, but we can get into it. We really saw the wrestling problem on Saturday. I mean, can we say it at this point? The fighting nerds, they have a problem with wrestling.
Okay. I'm going to go as far as to say depends on who. Our main event fighter, Caio Borralho, he doesn't have a wrestling problem defensively. Maybe offensively, he doesn't offer enough threat. But I don't see him getting bulldozed. But I get what you mean. As far as Rufy in the co-main, which, you know, we'll talk about, holy shit. There was no defense on the ground. I mean, BSD looked world-class. He looked like he was straight out of Dagestan. Like, you think is that Habib's cousin, man? So Oscar the Grouch looking Nurmagomedov in this bitch?
That's not good. You know what I'm saying? Man. If Benoit Saint Denis is looking like an OV, that is not good. Okay, he got ran over by money. Moicano wants money, and he ran him the fuck over. Mauricio Rufy had his hands on the mat like he was gonna do push-ups, bro. People are like, oh, his rear naked choke defense was bad. It's worse than that. He didn't try to defend it. I mean, it was bizarre. So okay, let's talk Caio. Cool, we'll do
let's go Caio first.
This is why the wrestling is such a problem for Caio. Is he going to after you just watch that flat striking performance, is he going to outstrike Sean Strickland? Is he going to outstrike Dricus du Plessis?
No.
Okay, I'm seeing no. Okay, so he's going to need to implement the jiu-jitsu, and if he can't, he's fucked. He's never touching the belt. He has to learn wrestling.
He's 32, right?
Sounds right.
I think it's a little too late. I don't think he's going to magically step the wrestling up.
Too little, too late.
He's great at grappling. When he hits the mat, he's slick on the floor, and his striking is better than most, right? But he's not the best, right? He's not a top 5 strikers in the weight class. And we saw Imavov show that more, elite level touch, even like the technicality, right? Imavov was just landing more frequently, bigger shots. He got to the target a lot more accurately. Like, even watching the way that they let their punches fly, right? Imavov just seems so much smoother, whereas there was like a bit of hesitancy with Borralho. He doesn't know when to let it go. He's like, then he does, and he lands a jab. But very rarely was it him landing great shots. What did he land? Maybe 2 really like clean shots that, I'm not saying they did big damage, but did something. Whereas Imavov had bigger moments throughout.
Yeah.
No, the strike stats were close. The significant strike stats favored Imavov by a lot. And I feel like Nasruddin Imavov's stand-up, technicality-wise, it's some of the best right now in the UFC. Then, obviously, you have the champ, though, is Khamzat. So even if you got great technical striking, he's going to be pushed to the brink against Khamzat, tied up, taken down, etc. If that's to be the fight, I guess we'll see. What are your thoughts on the next matchup, though?
What, you're saying title shot?
Yeah.
What are my thoughts on Khamzat versus Imavov? Khamzat lifts people up, so you might have good takedown defense against everybody else. Khamzat doesn't really care. He's going to pick you up. Like, he chain wrestles. You would see, Caio would get a body lock. He would try a trip. Imavov would stumble, and then he's like, oh, I didn't get the trip. Khamzat doesn't stop. He's going to try the trip, and then he's going to try to come around, and jack up the underhook and get to your back. He's going to chain wrestle. And so it's a very different type of matchup. Khamzat's the champ for a reason. On the feet, you saw a very controlled Imavov. And, let's pat ourselves on the back. AJ and I both locked Nasruddin Imavov, and it was dog money. We both locked a dog in the main event. France swept the French card. They fucking came out for blood. And, everything we said was true. Caio had been out for a year. It mattered. It looked like he had been out for a year. Caio had just cut weight a couple weeks before to potentially fight, Khamzat or Dricus. It mattered. I think it mattered.
It mattered a lot. It was a flat offensive performance from him. That's not to say, just because of maybe his focus being elsewhere, he got tuned up by Imavov. But I think, if you're a part of Fighting Nerds, and if they really are about statistics and they're studying, the algorithms of fighting, right? Let's say they have some data scientists behind the scenes like they claim to, wouldn't the game plan be more so to tie up with Imavov? Fuck the takedown. Even just hold him against the cage, press him. He struggled with that. He had a hard time doing any type of offensive control maneuvers in the fight. Like the takedown, yeah, that wasn't there, but he really couldn't do much in the clinch. Imavov showed to me that he's very aware of all of those positions at quite a high level.
Yeah.
I think when you look at it, aside from, the elite of Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling, I think Imavov can really stop a lot of pressure grappling. Now, of course, there would be a fun fight between him and Fluffy Hernandez or RDR. Those are the other two in the weight class that, make arguments. But when I think about even Imavov versus a Dricus du Plessis, Imavov's technical striking could be a big factor there. He's a lot quicker, gets to the target more accurately on, a consistent basis. But the difference, though, between Bahayo and a du Plessis is du Plessis will let that shot go. He'll be at risk of getting countered, but he's going to throw offense. Bahayo is I really feel like he's the type that he likes to, I don't know, this is maybe a bad terminology of using this, but he likes to know that the shot's going to land before he lets it go. Whereas du Plessis is just throwing shit out there. He might miss 5 of them, but one of them hits and it might be good night to you, Bahayo is looking for precision, but he just doesn't really have the most, what would the word be, Finch? Would it be the most precise punch? Would it be the most explosive output? Would it just be a lacking of, technicality? What's missing with his striking? Because there is something missing there.
Are we talking about Caio?
Caio.
He keeps his elbows in real tight to defend his body, but it costs him offensively. He didn't have any pop. He was flat. If you watch him against Jared Cannonier, he's much more on the balls of his feet, and you could see the karate come in throughout this fight. It was like a deflating balloon. He just sort of slowed down and didn't have confidence in his timing. AJ, I really think it mattered that he hadn't fought recently. I think if you have a more active Caio, all of a sudden that pop comes back because he's got a nice jab. He was landing a couple straight shots on Imavov. The problem is Imavov has this fantastic stance where he's always on the balls of his feet and his legs are always engaged. So anytime Caio would finally time a 1 or a 2 or a 1-2, Imavov just floats back. He just floats back. He takes the power away because as Caio's landing, Imavov is moving back and taking the power away. Did you hear in between rounds the differences in the corners? I mean, over in Imavov's corner, they're like, this guy cannot counter you. Go forward. Small steps forward. Punch first. This dude is not going to be able to counter anything you throw. And they were right. They were right. Caio Borralho was offensively bankrupt. There was nothing he could do to hurt Nasruddin Imavov. That mattered a lot. He pretty much got shut out. It was either 4-1 or 5-0. I guess depending on how you saw the first. I don't know. Caio really needs to get offensive wrestling going if he's going to beat somebody like a Nasruddin Imavov, even somebody, as we just said, like a Sean Strickland or a Dricus du Plessis, because I don't know if you could rely on that striking. He doesn't have weapons. He needs a fucking bazooka. He needs something. He doesn't have anything to make you respect him, and so they won't.
Yeah, I think you're right. He doesn't have the thud of the power doesn't have the insane speed, doesn't have the takedown threat. It's like technical karate striking, but in this fight, no bounce to it. And I think some credit too, though, to Imavov's ability to shut that style down and force Bahia on the back foot throughout.
Big time. Big time. Imavov's so technically sound. He doesn't make stupid mistakes, you know?
No, he doesn't. Imavov's quite good. I think he's definitely one of the better middleweights of this era. I'm excited to see him versus probably Khamzat. I think if you're talking truth, like, you can't argue he has a star-studded resume that should equal a title fight. Beat Bahia, was undefeated in the UFC previous to this matchup. Beat Israel Adesanya by knockout. Most impressive win over Adesanya, bar none. Nobody's beaten him in that manner. And then, you know, beat Brendan Allen, who's obviously still a top 10 talent, good grappling, and beat Jared Cannonier before Cannonier's downfall. Really, he's the guy that sent Cannonier downward, and then Cannonier started picking up L's. I feel like Imavov, he should be undeniable based upon his high-quality resume that he has, but there is the element of marketability. Not that Imavov has no marketability, right? But RDR, Fluffy, that's kind of like the fan favorite on the horizon, dark horse #1 contender fight. I don't know. It's a weird situation too, because you could argue, oh, well, Imavov stylistically is in for trouble against Khamzat, but RDR, Fluffy, or grapplers, they might be able to defend it against Khamzat. What do you think? Do you feel like Imavov set in stone for the next title shot? He should be.
No, and there's one other reason for that. He hurt his ankle for real. Did you see that moment? It was in the second or third round. He's like limping on it. He's like looking at his ankle, shaking it out. He said it. Was it the post-fight interview? I think it was at the post-fight interview. If not, it was the press conference. He's like, something's really wrong with my ankle. You know, like, so did he like partially tear his Achilles? I mean, he could be out for 6 months. Who knows? And then that obviously, you know, makes you think it's going to be either Fluffy or Rainier de Ritter. And then, you know, if Fluffy or Rainier de Ritter needed a dance partner too, if one of them pulls out or something, you could imagine Imavov sliding right in. There is a bit of a traffic jam at the top. Here's the one thing I asked the UFC: please keep Khamzat active. He asked to fight quickly. He asked to be active. Let's get him a fight.
I like it. Finch, we actually had a dono that I missed at the start. Shout out to the boy Stormy Normie. Love what you two do. Great main event pick. Thank you, Stormy.
Come on, Stormy. Stormy, that's why you come here. Where everybody who picked Benoit Saint Denis made sure we know, right? They're in my fucking comment section of my reaction video. Where are all the Caio Barallo people? Because there was Caio's a lock. How the fuck can you pick Imavov? How much shit did I have to hear about Caio Barallo for the Imavov dog pick that AJ and I both saw? Okay, where the fuck did you guys go? You know, after they pick wrong, they don't say shit, do they?
No. Listen, that's the beauty of the beast in the comments, right? You don't necessarily have to be held accountable like we do.
It's Homer Simpson going back into the bushes, you know?
Yeah. Hey, respect, Stormy Normie. You're the man, bro.
Thank you, Stormy.
Finch, Contender Series. Are we getting picks from you this week for Contender Series?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have accepted a job at Lights Out Extreme Fighting to run their social media. I am super excited, but I got to go all in because they got a September 20th card. NFL linebacker Sean Merriman gave me a call today. I will have him on my show on Friday. Please come check that out. Friday at 1 p.m. Am I going to go live? I don't know if it'll be live or not, but it will be posted Friday 100%. I'll also do the post weigh-ins show then. Very excited about that. AJ, if I do picks, I have to study. I cannot bullshit people. You know, my boy T's like, come on, it won't be that hard. Like, no, I need to put research hours in. So go to AJ for Contender Series this time around. Let's go. Shout out to you, Finch. Yeah, I got Contender Series up, and congrats on Finch, Mr. Lights Out himself, bro. Thank you. That's nice to hear. Hey, Jared Nunez, thank you for $19.99. My guy's been looking forward to the show tonight. Keep being great. Hey, thank you for $20. You keep being great, bro. Thank you, Jared. $20 is very generous. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Awesome. We talk some co-main, Finch? Let's fucking go. Benoit Saint-Denis, Mauricio Hufi. We kind of got this started at the beginning of the show. Hufi's ground skills got more than exposed in the matchup. BSD completely broke him. He shut him down,
He forced him to tap to the face crank. There was no get up ability come round 2. He was wilted and wearing down and badly exposed. My God. What do you think about the way that he went out, though? Like, he didn't really try and fight. Like, he just gave up. Does that stain Roofy forthcoming for the rest of his run? Like, in my mind, I'm going to say, okay, when things get tough, reminds me of, like, quick tap Sage Northcutt. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he was fighting the hands of, he's like, fuck, he's under. Shit, fuck. All right, I'm good. He got me.
Yeah. Shout out to my buddy Kevin who called it before the fight. I was like, yo, why are the odds so close? Like, am I missing something? Mauricio Rufy's way better at striking. It's harder to not hit Benoit Saint-Denis than it is to hit him. He's bleeding like a stuffed pig every single time he fights. We've seen him get run over on the feet, run over on the ground. I mean, he's going to try to wrestle, but they're in the big cage, and Mauricio Rufy keeps that long rangy distance. How is he going to close the distance? I'm like, what am I missing? And he goes, Henry Cejudo was talking about Mauricio Rufy's training partners, and he's like, hey, yeah, he must help you guys with striking. You guys help him with his grappling, huh? And that made sense to Kevin. He's like, man, Henry must have seen his grappling look pretty bad in the gym. And that got my wheels turning. I'm like, I really haven't seen it. I haven't, it's sort of just an unknown, right? And so we found out, and it turns out that there's nothing there, right? There was a technique problem, but there was also a tenacity problem. He had that deep underhook on the leg early off of that first takedown against Benoit Saint-Denis. He just had to put it over his head and do a technical stand-up. Instead, he got his guard passed right away. He shook Benoit Saint-Denis off of his back. Benoit Saint-Denis could have, I believe, put a power half in like Tatsuro Taira always does. Benoit Saint-Denis, not the best grappler in the UFC, got shook off the top. And what does Mauricio Rufy do? Stands up just to be taken down again. It was like he doesn't even have confidence in the guard, or is he just thinking he's just going to snipe this dude from distance? That's not what happened. He got taken down again after that. He got taken down, 3 times? And then on that last one, when he was up against the fence, he's putting his hands on the mat. It's not like he failed in his choke defense. It was like he broke. It was like he was done, and that face crank, there didn't seem to be a lot of crank going on. It seemed like Mauricio Rufy, again, it's you don't want to over criticize professional fighters because they put themselves in this vulnerable place where people like us can say they quit. Brother, what did I see? I saw Mauricio Rufy quit.
I think so too. Yeah, I think we're allowed to say that he quit. It's based upon fair evidence. Pressure was put on him in the grappling. He tried. Round number 1, he was, giving it his best. Round number 2, the frustration had fully set in. And I think he realized he didn't have the defensive grappling to deal with BSD. BSD found the crank, and Rufy said, I'm good. And I think with that, we now look at Mauricio Rufy in a different light. Emphatic striker, but everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to be looking to take his ass down because now the hole is exposed in his game. I mean, if you think about him, there's fights to be had where he can, take on some guys with some subpar takedowns and work on that area. But I don't know, man. Like, imagine they gave him Grant Dawson, right? He's getting thrown around. Like, I think it would look somewhat similar to this fight right here. I feel like maybe a Thiago Moises next, something along those lines. A guy that maybe isn't that effective in wrestling, but still has some ground game where, okay, we'll see if Rufy can at least stop that onslaught, and then big striking edge for Rufy. I don't know.
You can't put lipstick on this pig. He needs to work on his wrestling very seriously. And unfortunately, I don't think Fighting Nerds is the place. Fighting Nerds did not originate tape study. I mean, tape study's been going on. I mean, I saw somebody roasting the Chicago Bears in the comments. It's like, you think NFL football teams tape study? It's like, they think they look at stats and data. This is fundamental. Why did Chael Sonnen not get to fight John Jones for the title the first time? Because John Jones didn't get his tape study time in. So he said, fuck it, I ain't taking that risk. I want to do my tape study on Chael, so I know what side his head's on when he shoots and what he likes to throw before he shoots and how he responds to this or that, right? Tape study is very important. The problem with fighting nerds is I don't see who's going to improve their wrestling. They really need to invest in high-level MMA wrestling over at Fighting Nerds, At the very least, call Craig Jones.
Bring Craig Jones to fucking Brazil. Let's do it. Listen, I don't think he'd be opposed. We'll see what happens, but definitely need to praise BSD, though, for absolutely breaking a prospect. BSD versus Michael Chandler is the fight to make. I don't give a shit. Chandler's coming off some L. BSD got win. Just fucking do it. Come on, USA versus France. I like that fight a lot. Maybe even in the White House, too. Let's make it happen.
I'm with that. I mean, yeah, I'm with that. I don't know. How do you do the White House card? Do you do like America versus England? Isn't that more fun? Isn't that fun?
I mean, we could do that, but we need John Jones Aspinall to really make it work.
That's the obvious headliner. Dana is sounding like that's a hard no. You know why? I think something that goes into the equation is you've got to favor Tom Aspinall. And so what? England's going to win on America's 250th birthday.
Yeah.
England's going to come in.
Gaethje Topuria?
Who?
Gaethje Topuria. What are we going to do on that card,
Spain, though? Fuck. And you're going to let Spain knock America out? Again, I feel
Who
like...
we got? Who do we got? Taylor Harrison versus Nunes. Then Nunes wins for Brazil.
I don't know. It's far enough out. I think Dana's right. It's so far out that nobody really knows. Right now it's summer 2025. We're talking about summer 2026. A lot can happen in this time period. But you know what? Michael Chandler versus Benoit Saint Denis is fireworks. Yes,
that's a great fight. We'll see what happens, but definitely BSD. Respect to him. Put on a dominant performance.
Respect to him. Exactly. He fought smart. And I don't know if I've ever said that about Benoit Saint Denis before.
The IQ is going up in this game. Skills are getting better. He's definitely taking it serious, man. Fight before, we have to honor Paul Craig, who gave us some fun fights along the way. He was completely washed. Heading into this fight, he's 1-5 and 1 no contest across the last 7. He had a run at 185, which unfortunately failed. And, the Bellato situation, he hit him with the up kick. Fight got stopped. Bellato fake being knocked out. That kept the career going a little longer. Then we got a surging Modestas Bukauskas who knocks him out with the elbow on top first round. It was a destructive performance for Bukauskas, who I think is poised to fight into the top 15, I must say. I like Bukauskas a lot, Mike Finch. I'm a fan because he's a guy that's shown a lot of evolution, right? The younger Bukauskas was a UFC washout. Now this new return, he's absolutely on fire, 6-1. And I think a fight between him and like Alonzo Menafield makes sense as a chance to, pass that true gatekeeper test into that top 15. Am I certain that Bukauskas passes it? Maybe not, but I'll be rooting for him along the way. Training with Tom Aspinall in fantastic physical condition. I like Bukauskas a lot. And for Paul Craig, I'll say some kind words. Paul Craig gave us some crazy upsets on the ride. The submission game was second to none. And it was always fun watching a Paul Craig fight. But I think the career was over really after the Johnny Walker fight, right? The true Paul Craig aura was gone. And then he went down to middleweight and he tried, right? He beat Moneyline and then, took some L's and whatnot, losing to Bo Nickel. And now this fight here, it's the nail in the coffin for his career. Hey, maybe at the Craig Jones Invitational, they'll call up Paul Craig, something like that. I'm down with it, man.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. Do like, Paul Craig versus Chael or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Paul Craig pulled guard against Modestas Bukauskas. And for those of you who listen to the pre-fight press conference, Kyle Barallo goes, I don't fight with my ego. For instance, if I was fighting Paul Craig, I wouldn't stay inside of his guard. right? And I thought that was interesting because I firmly believe in 2025, if you feel uncomfortable inside anybody's guard where you're on top and you get gravity and ground and pound and fucking elbows, right? If you feel uncomfortable, you aren't good enough. I mean, I just don't believe that. I don't believe in that myth. And so what happened with Modestas Bukauskas, right? Paul Craig jumps card. Modestas Bukauskas goes, fuck yeah, I'm gonna bash your head in with elbows, right? And viciously TKOs Paul Craig within seconds, right? That's what you can do from the top position in MMA again in 2025. Come on, we got to be able to work inside somebody's fucking guard. So Modestas Bukauskas, I think, surprised Paul Craig with the viciousness of the ground and pound. I think Paul Craig was banking on Modestas being allergic, scared, trying to pull away, maybe give him an armbar or a triangle or something. That was not the case. Modestas Bukauskas kept postured up, which was great. By the way, was he jacked? He was extra jacked in Paris.
Extra jacked, bro.
He was extra jacked, dog. Yeah. He looked good. And he performed well. And that elbow, the UFC put out the sound of it. Paul Craig might be done.
He retired. He's definitely done.
I didn't see him retire.
He put the gloves down. You didn't watch the post-fight interview?
No, bro. No, I was probably replaying that fucking elbow. No, I didn't. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, he called it.
I'm finding out right now. Paul Craig, thank you for the submissions. When you broke Jamal Hill's arm, that was wicked. When you tapped out Ankalaev, that was also wicked. I like the face paint. I like the intensity. He's a bad motherfucker. Respect to Paul Craig.
Paul Craig, Gerald Mearshart grappling match. Please, at least do it on the mats. I want to see it, bro. Come on. That's a good match. In pure grappling. I want to see who takes that. I like that. I'd watch the hell out of that.
Yeah, Paul Craig could stick around and do some pro grappling. I mean, I don't think he's at some ridiculous level with his jiu-jitsu. Like, I think Damian
I don't either,
admits him,
Yeah, but it'd be fun though.
Yeah, he's good. He's definitely good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
He would be in competitive matches with, the likes of a Gerald Mearshart, a Joe Pyfer, a Chael Sonnen. Those are good matchups. He is not ready for Nicky Rodriguez.
No.
Anybody who watched CJI, by the way, you're a gangster. I was so entertained. That was so fun. Craig Jones Invitational. Craig Jones is the man. Big fan. Double buggy choke Chael Sonnen. I'm still hooked, bro. I'm still watching those fights back.
Let's go.
Fights, matches back.
Yeah.
I all the best to Paul Craig.
Let's go. All the best to Paul. Some quick shouts that we have to do. Definitely early in the night, we saw Ante Delija really showcase. He's a heavyweight to keep an eye on.
Cried.
Knocking out. He cried because it was emotional. That was a long road to the UFC. Went in PFL, won the tournament in 2022, lost, to Moldavsky, fought outside of there against what was his name? Hispanic Savage with some power. Knocked out Justin Tafa, and Tafa's a Jorgen De Castro. Knocked out De Castro real quick in his most recent fight before the UFC, and then destroys Tybura. A Tybura that looked checked out, but doesn't matter. Delija looks sensational.
Yeah, man. Fuck, man. I like how he followed up. Something I saw about Tybura, I pick flipped on my show on Friday because Tybura weighed in heavier than he's weighed in 5 years. He was, and it wasn't a ton of weight. What was it, 5 or 6 pounds? But seeing him look fat on the scale, I was like, nope. DeLeo just wants it more, man. You could tell. And he let his hands go like he did, man. Wicked performance.
And then I think true savage lock down below. Cowboy Hernandez made it look easy against Hardwick, Mike Finn.
Shout out to Premium Channel. If you guys are with me, you're with me. Minus 160. Are you fucking kidding me? That looked like a minus 1,000. I did my tape study on Harry Harry Hardwick, and man, he fucking has no athletic ability. There's nothing that stands out about him. What's the organization? Cage
Warriors champion.
What does it really mean though? What does it really mean? The competition's not there. Cowboy Hernandez is way better at striking than Harry Hardwick. And he was out there getting his calves chewed the fuck up, man. He could either stance he would switch to, he would get that calf smashed. He'd switch the other way, he'd get that calf smashed. Both were fucking purple and deformed. AJ, when you lose via leg kicks, it's generally in the third round, not the first fucking 3 minutes, you know? He was, this is from a comment I saw, but it's fucking a great comment. He was laying on the ground like he just got in a traffic accident, dude. The way he was rolling around on the fucking ground, Kawe Fernandez smashed him, and it was only minus 160. That was the second lock over in Premium Channel. Shout out to anybody else who played that. If they rematched this, what are the fucking odds? Minus 800? That's what it looked like out there. Big level disparity. Kawe's a nasty kicker. Shout out to Trevbot too for 199. The triple nipple savage at Ante Deliha. Shout out to you, Trevbot. That's funny as hell. Holy shit. Shout out to my buddy Milo with the triple nipple. Yeah, man. Fucking those guys are savages. Hey, that was very mispriced, bro. That was very, and they did it before. They gave us plus 300 when Kawe Fernandez fought fucking Guram Kutsaladze. Yeah. No. Why are they what are they doubting this guy for? This guy's a beast.
Kawe's a problem, man. Even that Fares Ziam fight, the lines I think would be a little closer next time because his kicking skills, his stand-up, legit. Kawe's legit. I'm excited as hell for more. And I hope they rebook the Ziam fight. I say, hey, Ziam pulled out due to a death in the family. Tragic. Rest in peace to his grandmother. I think Rio's coming up. Now you got to meet him on their home turf. I think that's fair. You pulled out of it. Fight still makes sense. It's not like beating Hardwick and it's like, let's give him a top 10. But let's give him Faraz, who's right before top 15. And then the winner probably fights in the top 15. I love that fight. And I like the rebooking in Rio. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I agree. That was a great matchup. It's too bad that fell through. And I don't mean to hate too hard on Harry Hardwick. I just fucking around, man.
No, I know.
Harry Hardwick. He's fucking tough, you know? He tried to hang in there. He couldn't fucking walk.
What'd you think about the Pitbull Keita fight getting canceled? That sucked.
Keita's up on the fucking scale. Fucking, yeah, guys, I'm making my UFC debut. No, you're not. Why are you smiling, bro? You're missing weight big. It wasn't even a pound. It was, what, 5 pounds or some shit? The fuck are you?
3 technically, but he was 49, yeah.
49, yeah, he's supposed to be
49, though. It's a lot. 3 pounds is a lot.
Don't be happy about it, bro. Be apologizing. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry. This is what happened. I'll never let it happen again. They cut his ass. Goofy ass.
Did they actually officially cut him?
That's what I heard. That's what I
thought
heard.
Those were just rumors. I didn't see an official
I was listening to Patricio Pitbull's interview too. He was upset about it. I mean, we got to call a spade a spade. Patricio Pitbull's not young. And so it really sucks for him to put in a good training camp, be in shape, be healthy, be ready to rock coming off of a win. And then his opponent pulls out. It's too short notice, or his opponent misses weight and it's too short notice. That was too bad. You know, that was my favorite dog on the card. So it would have been nice to see. Keita's explosive too. It would have been a fun fight.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully Keita, they'll have him up at 55 next time. And for Patricio Pitbull, I like his chances of securing a ranked fight at 145. Maybe in Rio. We'll see how the timelines work. I want to talk this card, though, because, you know, we're so focused on Paris. It's not just a recap. We got a full card stacked with some fun fights at Noche UFC, and I want to jump into it. If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you all hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Starting it off, we have the Ultimate Fighter welterweight finale. Rodrigo Sezinando versus Danil Donchenko. I'm going to pick Donchenko to get the win in this spot here. I like this fight a lot. I like Donchenko's style. He's an easy guy to really fall in love with the game, I must say. I mean, his aggressive output, dangerous striking attack with a multitude of weapons, knockout power, it seems. I think he's a problem. Now, on the other side, I think Sezinando is going to look to take his ass to the ground. Yeah. I think that would be a smart strategy to try and grapple, you know, sitting there and playing striking on the other side with somebody that seems to be as dangerous as Donchenko could really be the recipe for disaster. But I think that Donchenko's takedown defense can hold up. He's got explosive hips. I think he's young enough to be, you know, making big jumps in grappling defense. And not that he was a shit grappler beforehand. I'm going to go with Donchenko to pull through. I feel like Cezinato's pretty durable. I can see it going all three, or maybe even Donchenko getting like a later stage stoppage with his elbows slicing Cezinato up, and then eventually I'm getting him out of there. What do you think about the pick in this one, Finchman?
I like the fight. I'm very impressed by Donchenko, man. His striking's really nice. He changes stances nicely. I like the way he mixes it up. You know, he's a very talented striker, and watching him on The Ultimate Fighter, he was the most impressive athlete there. I like the way he works. I got to pick him here too. I think the fight is about the takedown. You know, Sezinando has, you know, as many submissions as he does knockouts on his record. Clearly, he should be looking to grapple early, even if it just means getting some blood in the shoulders and slowing, you know, Donchenko down. But the Ukrainian does have some takedown defense, man. He could wrestle too. I feel like he's going to be able to put some shots together and potentially get a KO or decision. I think Donchenko's special.
Minus 235 for Donchenko. I think it's a fair line for as good as he looked on the show. And I think the kid's got insane potential. Other side, Cezinado sitting at plus 200. Over 1.5 is minus 155, which is not wide. So they're, you know, saying is live for an earlier finish with the way Donchenko attacks. I think KO for Donchenko is possible at plus 175, but is it worthwhile to go out and chase it? I think Donchenko has a multifaceted striking arsenal that is too much for Cezinado, but Cezinado is in very good physical condition, is a capable fighter for sure. I actually feel like this is two guys that have good ability, good skill, but I see Donchenko with a much higher ceiling of how far he can take this shit. I think that Donchenko is a problem in the next couple of years, as far as maybe, you know, not top 10, but I see him as a guy that could be a threat around that top 20 mark, especially. And, you know, I think Cezinado could hold a roster spot, but I just don't know. He wasn't overly impressive on the show, whereas Donchenko was like, holy fuck, this guy is must watch. So I think Donchenko pulls through. I kind of agree. The odds a little more than 2-1. Fair. Chasing a knockout prop, not your best idea. I feel like Cezinado's pretty durable and never been finished as a pro fighter before.
Yeah. I think the ceiling is very high for Donchenko. I mean, only 24 years old. The first fight I saw him on The Ultimate Fighter, I was like, okay, this guy is special, and you just kept seeing it. So, at 24 years old, man, I can't imagine what he's going to look like at 29 and 30. You could be looking at a guy who fights for the title here.
I second that, and I will tell you, I'm more than excited to see these two throw down. It's going to be a hell of a fight. But I think Donchenko to handle. And I think the money line is betting-wise best bet as opposed to chasing props. So if you're looking to maybe two-leg parlay it, Donchenko a live edition. Let's keep going. Next fight on the card. We got the ladies going after it in this one. Interesting fight here between, you know, Montserrat Rendon, who's a 36-year-old prospect, and a 19-year-old prospect on the other side. It's Elise Pereira. This is not Alex Pereira's sister, though. This is Elise. This is not Aileen. Elise Pereira.
This is his daughter.
It looks like his daughter, yeah. It's like she's an interesting case, right? Because she has seemingly pretty good skills, but at what level is she fighting at, you know? And then it's like, okay, but Montserrat Rendon hasn't looked great in the UFC, lost to Dudakova, split decision against Tamaris Vidal. Little bit of a slow striker, lets some punches fly and somehow finds the target, but really doesn't impress me. Like, I think Pereira can win. I feel like she has more potential. I think her Thai striking style will probably be a difference maker. She's also got a bit of a size advantage. I think she could use that physicality. I know Rendon has a bit of a grappling base, but she's not this monstrous grappler. I mean, she lost to Juliana Miller in 2021 in combat jiu-jitsu. I don't know. I feel like Pereira should win, but like we're picking a 19-year-old here. So, you know, child in this one. And it's not like she came from Contender Series. Mike, I got to tell you, man, I really enjoy when fighters win a fight on Contender Series first and then they're in the UFC. So I have like a basis of level that I can be like, okay, they looked pretty good here. Now I can understand them more. With Pereira, I don't know. I mean, she seems to have potential. I'm going to pick her to win. I think she should beat a Montserrat Rendon, who's really not good, who's 6-1. She's 36. I'm going to say that Pereira decision is live.
They're polar opposites. You know, one is 36, the other one's a teenager. Montserrat Rendon, chin tucked, hands high style. Pereira, hand down low, big open stance. I mean, looks like Alex Pereira. So, yeah, I know they're not related, but their striking is. She throws big shots too. Like if you watch Pereira, she's fucking putting her hips behind shit. She's dropping girls, knocking girls out. Pereira's finished all but one fight. Montserrat Rendon has never finished a fight. All of Montserrat Rendon's pro fights have gone to decision. So without a real submission threat, you know, Pereira's got one submission on a record. Without a submission threat, I don't see how I can pick her. Although, brother, what is it? 2-1 favorite Pereira is?
Right now, Pereira is -150.
For a 19-year-old kid who's fought nobody. If you look at the fucking records, bro, 0-1, 1-6, 2-0. 12-8 is her last fight. 12-8. That's the one time she was taken to a decision. You gotta, like, we didn't know about Mauricio Rufi's grappling, brother. I don't know so much more about, Pereira here. So a slight lean towards her because what I've seen from her knocking out very regional scene girls is she's got power and she's got talent. You could see those things are there, but could she get taken down and bullied? Absolutely. Who knows what she looks like against a Montserrat Rendon? I'm gonna keep thinking and digging into this one because if Montserrat Rendon just gets like easy takedowns and dominates her, I'll be a little upset I didn't pick her as a dog, you know? Pereira clearly has solid striking, clearly hits harder, clearly is more of a finisher as far as striking is concerned. If Montserrat Rendon had any finishes on a record that would help me, I'd be like, no, she's like a Sam Hughes, you know? She takes girls down and gets them out of there. She doesn't. So there's more questions than there are answers here. For this pick, I'll side with the talent right now.
Sorry, Finch, I was distracted for a second. People were saying the audio was cutting, but I just checked on my end. It sounds good. So it must be a glitch going on through YouTube. If you're having an issue, just refresh. Should be good to go.
They're trolling. People say they're trolling.
I don't know. It seems like some legit folks were saying, but they refreshed the page and they're good.
All right. I'm back, bitches. I'm
Let's
back
go.
and better.
I think that, Pereira has to be the pick side, but is it the gambling side? No.
Why gamble on this? Unless I can figure out the Montserrat Rendon, because, UFC debut, 19 years old, never fought anybody. Does that sound reliable to you?
No, hell no, it doesn't. But, she's the golden girl, man. She's also 5'10". There's an element to that. I mean, I'm going to go Pereira to pull through, but it's just, I don't like this type of spot. I hate when they make me do predictions like this, where it's completely unproven talent versus not good, but UFC fights. Like I prefer the Contender Series route, man, or at least fucking give me an LFA fight, CFFC, Cage Fury, fucking Cage War. Give me something of a level of respect, even UAE War, something. But this is like, okay, Pereira, she's got wins, but she's fighting in Cage Masters, qualify combat, demo fight, right? Like she's fighting in strip malls and shit.
Yeah, that's an issue. They took a talented kid, but they're bringing her up pretty quick, eh?
Big chance. I'm gonna go with the talented kid. So is Finch. Let's go with Pereira to find a way to win. We'll find out everything come Saturday, and we'll truly, I think, know the level. Let's get to the next fight. We have Alessandro Costa versus Alden Coria. I'm going with Alessandro Costa. Respect to Coria stepping in and, taking a matchup. It's a pretty dangerous flyweight to start your UFC career off against. especially on short notice. Now, Costa has been out for a little bit. He's been out for a year and 4 months, but still primed at 29 years of age. And that win he had last time, he beat the shit out of Kevin Borjas. And I mean, Kevin Borjas since then fraud checked Ronaldo Rodriguez, went 3 rounds against Sumaderji. I feel like Alessandro Costa is pretty good as far as, unranked flyweights go. He's got nasty leg kicks. He used them well against Borjas. He's got good physicality, good power in his hands, a tight power striking style, big shots over the top, good aggressiveness. He's pretty athletic too, deceptively strong. Coria looks solid though. I feel like he's got decent hand speed. He can box a bit, definitely, good bounce to his style, good rhythm. He's got skills, but I think this level, a little bit too much. I see him getting bullied here by Costa. A few fights ago, Coria's loss was against Alberto Trujillo, who's like a short pressure fighter who stood 5'2", backed him up and was able to take that decision. Costa, 5'4", better than that. And I'm thinking, it's been some time, but year and 7 months, I don't think he's ready quite for an Alessandro Costa. So I'm going Costa. I think pretty clear-cut win is live in this one.
Costa's just got too much UFC experience, man. But I'll tell you what, the tape study I did on Coria, he's talented. He's a southpaw who can bang. He's got some power. He had a nasty guillotine I saw. His ground game looks overall pretty solid. He's got a nice single leg takedown. It's my favorite takedown because it's easier to access that single leg, and he runs the pipe. What that means is you're stepping out at an angle. It's like you got a table and you took one leg out of the table and you're pushing it that way. You pick up the lead leg and then you run their hips that way. And while they're bouncing around on one foot, it's very hard to stop that takedown. And even if they can stop it by hopping around like old school BJ Penn crazy balance, then you can just cut the other way. He has this great single leg takedown I saw him using multiple times. And it looks like he has talent. So he should be able to give Costa a little bit of run for his money. I think I'm going to say this is a little bit riskier than, what I just heard you say, although it's very important to note the UFC experience of Costa is so valuable. The names he's fought is very valuable. He's solid on the ground. He's solid on the feet. It's a good fight. It's a tough fucking UFC debut for Coria. My lean is Costa as well, but I recognize the skill I'm seeing from Coria. He's going to give Costa a run for his money.
Odds for the fight, Costa minus 450, Coria plus 350.
Don't tempt me like that. Plus 350.
I'm telling you.
He looked good, man. It's just the competition's not the same,
Yeah.
He looks good beating up guys who are levels below.
Yeah.
For a UFC debut, this is a tall order. So,
yeah, I think he loses the debut. Costa decision feels right. Could potentially get him out of there, but like you said, I mean, Coria's got some ability for sure. I like his stand up. He's capable on the ground. 5'8", fairly tall for the weight class.
Yeah. I'm
looking forward to seeing what he can do at this level, but I think that Costa should be good to go and gets his hand raised. Fat favorite, of course, but you're paying for that UFC tenure on this matchup right here, really.
It means something. It does. And especially the list of opponents Costa's had, he's been there and done that. And when you're making your UFC debut and you're a little nervous and you get a little more tired when you're up against the guy who's fought Kevin Borjas, Steve Erceg, Jimmy Flick, Amir Albazi, he's going to be that seasoning matters. And I'll say it comes through as well.
Let's go. Costa to win, the pick for Finch and I both. And let's keep running up. Next fight on the card. We have Zach Reese versus Cedric Dumas. Mike Finch, what do you think? Did Cedric Dumas pull one out? Did Zach Reese handle?
Fuck no, bro. I heard your breakdown on this one. I see you thinking about picking Cedric Dumas. I would be so surprised, dude. I would be so surprised. I don't see where he's better than Zach Reese. You think he's better at striking? I don't really think so. I don't really.
Not really. It's just I think Zach Reese sells a bit. In the back of my mind, I worry about Zach Reese.
I think Zach Reese controls this thing anywhere it takes place. He's got every advantage, I guess, besides just explosive punching.
But does Dumas really have explosive punching though?
No, he's a little, I don't know. His wildness sometimes works out for him. No, I don't think so. I think you're going to see Reese be able to handle him everywhere it goes. Striking in the grappling on the ground. I don't really see. I didn't think that hard about this one, dude. I think this is one of the best locks on the card. Zachary Reese all day probably finishes him, bro. Probably subs him.
How do you think? You think Zachary sub? Okay. Cedric Dumas, the weird Cedric Dumas fluke factor is in potentially, but probably not. I don't know with Dumas. That Cody Brundage win over 2 years ago. Granted, Brundage was on short notice. Like he out grappled the fuck out of him. So there was moments there where I'm like, how did he pull that off when he's, you know, a white belt in jiu-jitsu? But yeah, I think Reese seems more committed to the game. Cedric Dumas is consistently in legal trouble, in jail, on the reg. And, you know.
Yeah, are they going to let him fight with the ankle bracelet on? Would that affect,
first.
like, if he threw up a head kick or something and the ankle bracelet hit Zach Reese, would that be legal?
I mean, they must have to put some, I don't know, some tape over it or something like that. I don't know. I think that he got the ankle monitor off, at least for this matchup here. And I think Zach Reese. Yeah, I'm going Zach Reese. I know I was just having bad dreams about Zach Reese as I was talking, but I feel like Reese should win. He should have a big advantage in all areas. He's more explosive. Yeah, I think he's faster. I think he's better at kickboxing. I think he's better at kicking specifically, kind of like a, you know, Luke Rockhold type of kicker. Better jiu-jitsu for sure, and more athletic and seemingly a lot more disciplined to fighting career.
Exactly.
All this stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. He's dedicated to the game. He's shown improvements. I mean, you know, I'm just going off of your last one. I know you were dunking on him for the Brundage thing. I don't know, man. I feel like he's a lot better. I think the better fighter is going to win here.
I'm glad that you did this because I was thinking to myself earlier today, man, if Finch goes out and sees the Dumas side, like
I've been fading Dumas. What do you mean? Yeah. He was favored in his UFC debut. Remember, I'm like, this guy's getting subbed. His jiu-jitsu's trash. You remember?
Yeah, and Josh Frem strangled him.
Josh Frem strangled his ass. That's right.
And if Frem can do it, Reese can't do it. You know, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
strike with him. I don't think Reese is out of sorts on the feet.
Nah, he's good to go.
I
think he's live. He could win a decision. He could get a submission. I think Zach Reese pulls through. My confidence in Reese after sleeping on it is better. I think I was having a moment of anxiety during the breakdown, Finch. You know, I needed to talk to you about it to calm myself down. You know, I was losing my shit a little bit.
No, I think you know, Costa is going to get more of a run for his money than Reese is, man. I think Reese finishes him too. Like that. That's a confident aspect of my pick as well.
Let's go. Finch, man, and I both picking Reese. Finch going finish. I think finish is live here. And Reese to get their hand raised at Noche. Let's keep running. Next fight, we got Jesus Aguilar versus Luis Gurule, representing Mexico with some pride. Jesus Aguilar is always a tough dog, but I think Luis Gurule is going to give him some trouble here. I feel like Gurule, physically, pretty strong dude, trains at Factory X, capable striking. Grappling defense is there. Wrestling background is there. Wrestling ability is there. Aguilar is not that good of a wrestler. He's been taken down. He does have some threat on the ground, some submission ability to find comebacks, but I don't know, man. Like, I think Gurule should be able to get a W in this spot. I'm looking at the Ode Osborne fight and seeing him get caught in that fight. Very few flyweights are catching him from that range, you know? So Osborne's insane wingspan really came in handy in the matchup when he caught Gurule with the powerful straight shot and dropped his ass. I don't think Aguilar lands something like that. I think Gurule on the scorecards makes sense. I think it's fairly competitive. I think Aguilar gives a gutsy effort because he's normally gritty, but I'll lean towards the Gurule side winning his sophomore UFC appearance. What do you think, Finch?
I think there's a real submission risk here. You know, you got a good wrestler and you got a guy with some of the best guillotines in the division. You know, that's an issue. Gurule probably better at striking. I'll give him striking and wrestling, and I'll give Jesus Aguilar the jiu-jitsu. Generally, having 2 out of 3 aspects is going to make me go for you. So yeah, give me Gurule, but you know, if he gets, you know, in a little hairy situation, shoots a double with his head on the outside, Jesus Aguilar has got a real fucking vice that he'll throw you in there, man. That is a medieval guillotine where they hit you with tomatoes and shit. You put your head in the fucking thing. They're like, he stole bread. Boom. They hit you with the fucking. He'll keep you in there all day. He's got a real grip on it. He adjusts really nicely as you try to get out. He just tightens it. He's going to give Gurule a run for his money if Gurule wants to wrestle. If he uses his wrestling defensively, I think he'll outstrike Jesus Aguilar, man. I got to go for him. Let's say decision.
I agree with that. I don't think Aguilar's a walk in the park fight for Gurule, but I think he can win a tactical decision. And I feel like if you're on Gurule's crew, you're like, all right, shooting those takedowns. Like, I think that he can win the kickboxing. Fuck taking it to the ground. Use that Factory X striking style.
Yeah.
Aguilar's got nasty gillies. He's won a shitload of fights with that weapon. He definitely has the gift of it. Something about his like short arms that just works perfectly with that tight squeeze. But I feel like Gurule should be, you know, smart enough to avoid it. But that being said, Gurule is a minus 205 favorite at the moment. Aguilar plus 175. You could argue Aguilar as a sub piece, as a little degen sprinkle on the opposite end, because I like what Finch said. Striking, wrestling, Gurule. Aguilar, submission. But I'll say more often than not, Gurule gets his hand raised and is able to outwork him. He's such more of like a specimen athlete, you know? I think he's going to be able to push him off as Aguilar might try takedowns, land bigger and better shots. Should be a good 3-rounder. I'm excited to see. I think Aguilar shows that Mexican spirit, okay?
Yeah. I think it's a good fight. You know, Stuart Nickel was a good wrestler too, right? On the Adesanya card,
big time.
And yeah, he got strangled bad. So, yeah, it's a good one. I'm excited to see it. I think if Gurule fights technically sound, use the wrestling defensively and don't overextend yourself on the feet. You know, if he fights smart, yeah, he wins all 3 rounds.
Let's go. Goldberg, thank you for the 10 Canadian dollars. What's up, AJ and Mike? I'll be back for the jackhammer parlay. Let's go, my brother. Goldberg, good to see you, dog.
See you in a little bit, homie.
Hey, big W. I'm with it. Finch and I both on the Gurule side. Let's keep running. We got ladies going after it. Finch, I'm going to let you break this one down since you know Tatiana Suarez.
Ladies, Tatiana Suarez is back again. And she's trying to stay active, y'all. You know, before that Wei Li fight, she was out for so long battling with injuries and such. Now she's back. Her wrestling is tremendous. I got to see her grapple with another female UFC fighter that she smashed at the UFC Performance Institute, and the other female UFC fighter has been winning fights. She's been doing good. And
I gotta say who it is.
I should. AJ knows exactly who it is.
I know exactly who it is. I won't say none.
I shouldn't do that. That's rude.
I'll say it on a different stream. What?
That's rude. But it's not like it was close, you know. Tatiana Suarez is very talented, but against Wei Li, she had a very bad night. You know, she was relying on that guillotine, which is phenomenal, especially in the women's, divisions. I mean, it's world class, in comparison. But she was relying on it too much. She was ending up on bottom, and she gassed. She gassed hard. I think you saw the nerves get to her in that title fight. Well, here she is, lower on the. Are we still in the prelims?
Yeah.
She's on the prelims of a fight night. So the stress level is going to be lower. She's against a very good striker in Amanda Lemos. I do think she hits the takedowns, and I do think she gets this thing done. Probably submission. With that being said, Amanda Lemos should not be overlooked. Amanda Lemos is not bad. She is a solid striker, very dangerous striker. And her takedown defense is pretty good, and on the fence, very good, So she should be able to give Tatiana Suarez a run for her money. I saw the odds, 4-1?
think it might be wider now.
5 to
No,
1.
it's still no 425 to 1. Okay, not too bad.
So, they're giving a lot of love to Tatiana Suarez's grappling. After her last performance, I did not expect the odds. I expected Tati to be like a 2 to 1 here. You're looking at 4 to 1. I think they're making it a little bit unbettable because Amanda Lemos is going to be a test for her. Again, I do think she passes that test. I do think she's special. I do believe that her performance against Wei Li is the exception, not the rule. I think she gets the takedowns and is able to dominate from the top position in this fight. But Amanda Lemos, very experienced in the UFC. She's fought for the title. She had, a competitive fight for the title. I mean, the one that went the distance, right? Amanda Lemos is going to give her a run for her money. It's a very good fight.
EMG Drug God, thank you for $9.99 on the clock, doing this 10 to 6:30 while catching the goats. Love y'all, Savage. Let's get the bag this weekend and Canelo for the W. Stony time. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, EMG Drug God.
Big Canelo. Damn, we were gonna skip that, bro. We weren't even gonna talk about that shit. We can't even help Dana promote this shit, AJ. Can we?
Well, we'll say it at the end. I was thinking we'll talk about it.
All right. Instead of the parlay, are we doing the Canelo?
We got to do both, man. We'll just make it quick with Canelo. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for the 10, EMG.
Hey, shout out EMG.
Drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. Hodgepodge guy, thank you for the 5, man. Appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying that. I think it's a piece of sushi. I don't know what it is, but chopsticks and all. Let's go.
Thank you, Hodge.
Shout out. Listen, I think Suarez shows levels in the grappling, guys. Tatiana Suarez, I picked her to beat Wei Li, and boy, was I fucking wrong. But I'll take it on the chin. I'll learn from my, L. And that doesn't mean pick against her against Lemos. It's recognized that Tatiana Suarez has an ability to put the wrestling to work in this matchup. I don't see Lemos stopping the takedowns like a Wei Li. I don't see Suarez gassing out in a 3-rounder. I think in a 3-round fight, this is great for Tatiana Suarez. I think she can push a wrestling pace in this fight. I think she controls. I think she takes it home. Suarez is a confident pick for me. I think she's taking a unanimous decision. I see Lemos getting taken down a lot. And I see Hodgepodge guy became a member. Shout out to the boy. Thank you, Hodgepodge guy. Shout out.
Let's go.
Yeah, I like Suarez. At 425, it is what it is. But I do think she wins.
Yeah, man. I think she bounces back here. They didn't give her an easy fight, though, AJ. I mean, Amanda Lemos.
She'll fight for the belt with a win. Dern versus Jandiroba for the belt coming up. Vacant title fight. So
and Suarez is a really bad matchup for those girls. Suarez is very hard to submit, and and then the wrestling advantage.
Yeah,
and Suarez is big, bro. Suarez is like, she's the biggest fighter in the division. So, If Suarez is impressive here, it matters a lot. It matters a lot for the division. You're looking at potentially the champ. So she's got a big opportunity.
What do you think about submission in the fight?
I mean, her submission grappling is definitely solid. Her choke game specifically. She's engaged to Patchy Mix. Are they engaged?
Yes.
So and Patchy Mix has phenomenal jiu-jitsu, and she's really developed that style. I mean, they train together consistently, and they're actually a similar size, so they're great training partners, although Tati, of course, training with the women. I think her submission game is elite in the division. Like, the accolades of the submission game are going to go to like a Mackenzie Dern. But in practice, you got that wrestling to dominate somebody with, and then the neck presents itself. Tatiana Suarez is a fucking problem. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I would say submission.
Submission Suarez. I do think it's live. If not, I can see control-based decision to read off some of the prop odds, though, for the people. Looking at Suarez to win via sub, currently sitting at plus 175. Suarez to win via decision, plus 150. So, both, I guess, technically expected methods in some capacity. And from me, I'm expecting either one of those. I feel like the sub could hit, man. It really could. But something about Lemos' grappling defense. Like, I know Jandiroba caught her with the arm bar, but Suarez shooting for an arm, less likely. It'd probably have to be a choke. It's like Lemos does have decent defense. But Suarez is going to be a big body to deal with. She could melt Lemos on the ground. I like Suarez as a big favorite, definitely to pull through. It could be something to a long shot.
Striker, man. I just don't know how much time she'll be able to spend striking here. If Lemos can make this thing a kickboxing fight, I mean, Lemos is, again, the experience matters, man. Lemos has more UFC fights.
Yeah, agreed.
So I don't doubt Lemos. I've actually, I think I've bet on Lemos before. I've definitely picked her, leading up to that title fight. Lemos is going to be a test, but Tatiana Suarez, when she gets her on the fence, I think she's putting her on the mat. I do. I think she's putting all the girls on the mat.
Let's go. Suarez to win, the call from me. Suarez to win, the call for the Finch man. Let's keep running up. And yes, Finch, we're still on the damn prelims.
That's crazy.
Next fight, we have Claudio Puelles versus Joaquim Silva. I thought to myself, I'm not doing it again after Puelles has lost to Hooker, lost to Ziam, but I'm doing it now.
He's doing it again.
He can win this fight. Puelles got good grappling. And looking back at the Ziam fight, talk about a loss aging incredibly well. Ziam went on to beat up Mike Davis in impressive fashion. He's on a tear right now. And that fight was 1.5 years ago. And then his other loss was 1 year and 3 months before that. So nearly 3 years ago to Dan Hooker. But let's not forget, he fucked Dan Hooker's knee up bad in that fight. Claudio Puelles is a skillful grappler. Now, it's easy to look at his long layoffs and think he's done, but he's 29 years old. I know he works with the Spanish commentary crew, so he's still involved in the fight game. I think Claudio Puelles can beat Joaquim Silva. Silva's got powerful striking. He's got an aggressive attack on the feet. He throws with some real, brutal impact. Bad intentions would probably be the proper word. But he got, controlled a bit by Drakkar Klose, backed up and outworked. I think Puelles' ground skills can come through here against the 36-year-old Joaquim Silva. I feel like Puelles is going to get the hand raised. It might be a bit of like a smothering wrestle control using the jiu-jitsu. Not that Puelles is the most technically sound wrestler, but he gets people to the ground. He forces takedowns. I think it could work here with Silva. And I think he's got the tricky grappling style to pull through. I feel like I got to go Claudio Puelles to find a way in this one and get back on track.
Joaquim Silva, I believe, is a jiu-jitsu black belt, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
And if Puelles can't submit him, Puelles ends up on bottom too. He likes to play guard a little too much. He's a bad matchup for like a Clay Guida, who he knee-barred. But I got to go Joaquim Silva, man. I think Joaquim Silva could just outstrike him, play takedown defense against him. We haven't seen him since the Faraziam loss.
Yep.
As to where Joaquim Silva, what did he lose to? Armin Sarukian. Like, I can't blame him for that. And that was in the 3rd round. I think Claudio Puelles is dangerous on the ground, but just avoiding submissions might be enough. Add some ground and pound, make him stand back up. I'm not going to go with a guy who's a bit of a guard puller, bro. I'm going to go Joaquim Silva with the striking.
You know what? Picking the zesty guard pullers in MMA is a bad strategy, but it's going to work this time with Claudio Puelles. I'm telling you, Mike Finch.
You got the dog, right?
No, he's the favorite. He's minus 120. Silva's the dog at plus 100.
Damn.
Line flipped.
Interesting.
But is it really, is it the bettable situation?
Why are people talking like Silva's old? He's like 36.
It's more so the losses. He's been trading wins and losses for a while.
Sarukian, who the fuck?
He lost to Drakkar Klose.
Drakkar Klose, his decision.
But Drakar's a gangster, though. Drakar's underrated.
Yeah, Drakkar Klose looked competent against Edson Barbosa.
You look good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Joaquim Silva, man. As a dog, I like it even more. Shit,
okay.
Sounds good. I'm gonna look smart.
Joaquim Silva. I thought it was Joaquim Silva, like Jose Aldo, because the Brazilians, they say ja instead of ya. Joaquim Silva. Joaquim.
Yeah,
Silva.
Me and AJ pronouncing names, like,
If they're Russian, it works. I'm good at the Russian pronunciation.
You're good at Russian?
But the others, I don't know, man. They be getting to me, man.
Did I send you that one dude's name? There was an MMA fighter with the craziest Dagestani name you've ever fucking seen. Did I text you that?
I don't know.
I didn't text that to you.
When?
Good luck. You should fucking try to pronounce that one. Bro, I gotta find it.
If you find it for me, I'll do it right now. Just text it to me again. I'll answer. I'll read it.
Who did I text it to? I think I sent it to my boy. But we send each other so much shit. Come on. I know who sent it to me now, so I'll go find it.
Finch on the hunt. I'll read some more odds off. So Moneyline -120 for Puelles, +100 for Joaquim Silva. I'm picking Puelles, guys. I'm having faith this time. I feel like it can work. I feel like ends up going distance, possibly -140.
So you don't think sub? Or are you calling sub?
I mean, Joaquim Silva, never been submitted before. I feel like Puelles could end up locking up a knee bar or something like that. A weird scramble in the grappling, especially Joaquim Silva. I feel like he's got more of that old school jiu-jitsu, whereas Puelles has more of the leg lock game of the modern era.
This isn't even that bad now that I'm looking it up. It just looks insane. Not
What
even that bad.
Zaman Khan Magomedov?
It's actually easier than it looks, right?
Khan Magomedov? Yeah.
Magomed Khan Magomedovich
That's easier
Magomedov. Actually,
That's
it's
easier.
too easy. That was
Magomed Khan Magomedovich Magomedov.
damn it. It's too easy for AJ.
I'm good. Listen, I'm good with these Russian names. I can do it all day. I'm proficient in it. But when you start bringing up Joaquim, I don't know.
Well,
that's where the trouble lies.
They might go this way or that way. Like in Brazil, you know, R's are pronounced like H's. Like I know a couple little tricks, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, so anytime I see it's Royce, not Royce.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was saying Jose Aldo when it was Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
You know, so I know a couple tricks.
There we go. The Finch man's got tricks up his sleeve. Let's go.
I wanted to learn Portuguese when I was like in like freshman year of high school. I'm like, I know I'm gonna, you know, be in the MMA game. So, and I figured like broadcasting side, I'm like, I better learn some of these. Like, it'd be cool if I could translate, you know, for the Brazilian fighters. Now the sport's so international, it's like, you know, anything would have worked. Russian would be fine. You know, fucking, if I spoke French, I could have helped out fucking on Saturday, right?
Well, now YouTube has an auto dub feature, so you can listen to me in pretty much every language.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You go to my full card predictions, and then you'll go to the languages. They got auto dubbed in like French, Hindi, Polish.
It's for any YouTube video?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. New thing. Yeah.
That's cool.
Very interesting. Yeah. New era, man.
That's cool. Because I listened to like Vladimir Putin's fucking, you know, long rants, and it would be nice to have the translation, because a lot of times I find it in Russian, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on YouTube, I don't know from Russian to English, but I don't see why not.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, something to look into. There we go. Finchman.
We disagree on one, AJ.
I know we do. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. Oh my, this is the essence of high quality matchmaking. This is what Noche UFC is all about. Jose Medina versus Duško Todorović. Really, it's the loser leaves town fight between these two. I am picking Duško Todorović to beat Jose Medina. Jose has a lot of heart. He has a lot of heart. He has a lot of heart, Mike Finch. But when you really start talking about his abilities, he's got a lot of heart. I mean, he's got a decent trip, you know. He's got okay punching. He can rip some shots. He knows a little jiu-jitsu. He can
reaching for compliments.
He's all right. Listen, I mean, he knows how to fight people. He knows how to put his hands up. And I like his, you know, his heart. I like his grit. But that's really it. And I'm not saying Duško Todorović is some world beater, but he's got some hands on him. He can box a little bit. He can kick a little bit. He can grapple a little better. I think Duško Todorović should get his hand raised by a decision in this one, but it'd be a very Duško Todorović thing to end up getting knocked out by Jose Medina.
Bro, how hard did AJ have to work to pitch this fight to you guys? I mean, this has to be old school loser leaves town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Chael Sonnen on the mic with Anderson Silva. If I win, you know, whatever, you leave the UFC. If you win, I will leave the UFC forever. Mic drop, you know? Come on, man. These guys are not elite, okay? Duško had a little bit of credit, a little bit of almost hype at one point, but that ship has sailed, okay? He has been destroyed by Christian Leroy Duncan, Mansour Abdul Malik. Zach Reese just beat him. Chidi and Jaquani knocked him out. He did get through Jordan Wright, who's also not great. Soriano knocked him out. He's had issues, guys. So Dusko back end, but Jose Medina has just done nothing but gotten stomped in the UFC. He got fed to Attila Gautier, fed to him. It was kind of it was kind of fucked up. It was kind of fucked up, honestly. It's one of those matchups. The UFC's done that a few times, man. Who's the kid who Sean O'Malley fucking boxed up, who got a shot again?
Chris Moutinho
clipped with the left hook from Wellmaker. Some Moutinho. Like, what are we doing here, UFC? Is this just you're just dropping the lamb into the fucking, it's like in Star Wars, you visiting Jabba the Hutt and they open up the fucking floor and that monster comes out. Like, that's what the Atiba fight looked like with Jose Medina, man. He just got slaughtered. So I feel like Jose Medina is not UFC caliber at all, as to where Todorovic's just like one of the worst. And that's my honest assessment, as brutal as it is. So Dusko Todorovic, should be able to maybe even get Jose Medina out of there. Although you should, as AJ said, you could compliment his durability. He does bite down on his mouthpiece, but we're not talking about UFC caliber guy here. Let's say Dusko beats him up.
Dusko beats him up. Dusko decision, or you think he knocks him out or submits him? I feel like Medina's got a chin and a half on him, though. I know Gautier knocked him out, but Gautier's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, Gautier went out there like to decapitate him, bro.
Yeah.
Gautier's the mini Francis.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Does Dusko finish him or not? Yeah. I'm going to say Dusko finishes him, bro.
Okay.
TKO.
Okay. Respect. Dusko's a 3-1 favorite with Medina at plus 250. I want to say something here. You remember Dusko's hype before the UFC? He knocked out Michel Pereira. Like, Dusko had some momentum. And like, I remember when he was coming up, it was like, yo, this kid's got some game. He can box. And then Puna Soriano beat the shit out of him. But you know what? He went distance with RoboCop. That demands some respect.
Yeah.
I think Dusko Todorovic is better than Medina.
Yeah.
They're really throwing him a bone, though. Like, they're throwing Todorovic a chance to stay on the roster against a guy that, really isn't UFC level. I mean, he lost on Contender Series. The UFC tryout, he got dominated by Magomed Ghaziasulov, but Dana's like, I like this guy. I'm bringing him in. You know what? He went distance with Zach Reese, as did Todorovic, and then Gautier knocked him out. Bet he landed a trip on Zach Reese in round number 1. I mean, listen, the guy has something, but it's just Todorovic is better. Todorovic should win this fight. Todorovic is live to knock him out, but Medina's chin is good, man. I know Gautier chinned him, but Gautier's a fucking killer. I don't care. I think Medina's
kind today. You're in a good mood today, AJ. You got a haircut, right?
I trimmed it. I'm actually going to get it cut a little shorter, but I got the little starter trim, but I'm going to do like a new style on me.
I got the new haircut energy today, buddy. You're being nice to these guys.
Yeah.
These are two of the worst UFC fighters, and I think that Todorovic is not as bad as Medina. That's my take.
That's fair. Todorovic, not as bad. Better at boxing, sharper, should land more. And as a 3-1 favorite, if he wins Medina side, like, this would be the essence of the Rocky story. Like, this would be insane. He goes out, he shocks Medina with the victory. Like, that would be something out of a fucking movie.
But then he'd be what, 1-3 in the UFC? I guess one of those was Dana White Contender Series. Huh?
Yeah.
I think Rocky, the story is a little more impressive, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
A little higher level in the Rocky story. I think if that's Medina beat Dusko, like, all right, you can beat the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
I would still not be blown away. I'm sorry.
Respect. Medina for the win. Let's keep running.
Medina for the win.
My bad.
Whoa.
I'm good energy to him. I'm going Dusko.
AJ flipping.
I'm rooting for Medina.
I see that. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
This guy's a fucking hard worker, man. He's a hard working man. He just doesn't have the talent. He doesn't, but he's got grit. He's got heart.
He's got grit. He's got heart. Yeah, you
Those are
can
my
say
two
that.
things. That's what I got for you.
Okay.
Let's keep running. All right. I want to talk this damn main card.
Oh my God, are we finally on the main card?
Finally.
Holy shit.
If you guys haven't, hit the likes. If you're new, subscribe.
Do it.
We got Santiago Luna versus Quang Bang Lee. I'm part of the Quang Bang Lee gang, Quang gang, and I'm picking Quang Lee to win. Now, Santiago Luna is a prospect. He's taking this fight on short notice, replacing David Martinez, who got moved up to the co-main event. Luna looks talented, but he hasn't beaten anybody good. He's 21. He seems to have a well-versed game with good athleticism, good strike speed, good aggressiveness, some grappling. But Quang Bang Lee on the other side has a dominant victory over Gastelum Bolaños, went 3 rounds on a short notice debut against Chris Gutierrez. I know Long Shao knocked him out, but I feel like Quang Bang Lee has the experience at a higher level to win in this spot. I'm going with Quang Bang Lee to take it. I'm going with my guy. I think he can outwork Luna over the 3, and I will add in something else. Santiago Luna's last 2 fights have been at 140 and 145 pounds. Now he's stepping in a short notice spot, back down in the bantamweight division. I'm not saying the weight cut is going to destroy him, but stepping in on relative short notice. I'm hoping the weight was in check. I'll assume with a young prospect at 21, he'll be able to shred that weight off easier than if he was 30. But I'm going to pick Quang Bang Lee to pull through in the spot. Are you thinking Quang Bang, or are you thinking Santiago's the prospect to watch, man?
I'm going Santiago Luna. I was on Quang Bang Lee, brother. You know I like Quang Bang Lee. I locked Quang Bang Lee on Premium Channel, where I give out my favorite bets. DM at Mike Finshaw on Instagram if you want to see who I'm betting on this week. I gave out Quang Bang Lee as my lock against Gastelum Bolaños. Why? Because I used to work for Bellator. I've seen Gastelum Bolaños get submitted in front of me before. And I thought Quang Bang Lee was a better MMA fighter than Gastelum Bolaños, who's just a decent kickboxer. And here he's up against a guy who's a solid fucking wrestler, man. I mean, for a Mexican, this guy could really wrestle. Generally, Mexicans are known for their boxing and their toughness. You know, this guy throws people the fuck around, albeit not UFC level competition, right? But for Lee to not really have a real opening there to go through to be able to hit takedowns. Remember, he submitted Gastelum Bolaños. I'm concerned, man, because even on the feet, you know, Quang Bang Lee, he's a little dangerous, but he's a little hittable, you know. I think that this Luna dude is actually going to be able to out wrestle him, and that it'll be an issue. You know, it's a good fight. It's a tough fight to pick. You're not crazy for going Quang Bang Lee at all. Like I said, I have believed in Quang Bang Lee in the past. I don't doubt Quang Bang Lee, but I think Luna's wrestling does look special. I don't know what it'll look like in the UFC, but Quang Bang Lee's wrestling is not outstanding. I'm going to assume that Luna deciding where the fight takes place, landing some ground and pound, softening Quang Bang Lee up will happen. I'll go Luna decision.
Luna is a minus 125 favorite. Quang Bang Lee plus 105 underdog. I think Lee could win, but I see the Luna argument, especially Mexican fighter with the big chance at Noche. I think it could be a close decision. Luna's a mobile prospect with, you know, pretty good ability to take people down, like you said, Finch. It's just, I guess I really do have a hard time making predictions when I have guys that I just can't compare level of opposition. You know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, at least Quang Bang Lee was fighting in LFA. You know, the wins that Luna has in Combate, they're not bad. He beat a 6-1 Magomed Beyduev by submission. Granted, that dude had actually lost a few fights prior to a 6-9 guy. And that was actually in Lights Out, Mike Finch. So shout out to Lights Out promotion, man.
Let's go.
Tough enough. He's got a win last time against a 4-6 fighter. I'll go Quang Bang, but it's not an overconfident call.
All right. We disagree again.
Disagree, Mike Finch. We're disagreeing on this card.
That's cool. I mean, nothing crazy. Nothing.
No, it's not like we're disagreeing on the lock. You're like, I'm telling you, this is it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, AJ said he had Medina. I saw that, but besides that,
Yeah. Medina's a legend. Listen, I'm rooting for Medina all the way. I get his fucking shirt.
I'm clipping that. I got Medina. Jesus Christ.
He wins, bro. Definitely clip if he wins.
All right. Hey,
Holy
I'll give you
shit.
full credit, bro.
Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight, we have lightweights going after it. We have Alexander Hernandez versus Carlos Diego Ferreira. I'm picking Alexander Hernandez, Mike Finch. I feel like that Chase Hooper performance, I get it, it's Chase Hooper, but I had a change of heart. I'm like, damn, when am I going to stop doubting Hernandez at 155? He looked like shit at 145, but he's on a 4-fight win streak if you only include lightweight fights. The loss was to Money Moicano a few years back, and he's fighting a 40-year-old Diego Ferreira that had his fight against Bobby Green canceled. The Bobby Green matchup, definitely more winnable because Bobby Green passed his prime. Hernandez absolutely in his prime. And I think he's looked better than ever before. Where this fight gets testy is on the ground because Diego Ferreira is legit with his grappling. But Hernandez has pretty sound grappling defense, definitely has quick striking. He's pretty mobile. You got to assume 3 weeks ago with a violent knockout at UFC 319, the confidence is probably at an all-time high right now for Hernandez. And, okay, strange element to this fight. Do you know the kryptonite to Diego Ferreira? Beneil Dariush. He beat him twice. Let's not forget Hernandez knocked out Beneil in 30 seconds in his UFC debut, albeit fake glove touch with the punch. I get it. But there's an element to that I'm like, the athleticism of Hernandez and the footwork, Diego Ferreira being a little bit heavy-footed. The fact that Hernandez a lot of the times is still winning decisions. He's got some knockout power, but he can go 3 hard. I feel like Hernandez is going to get a close one on the scorecards, and Diego Ferreira might look a little bit slower than we're expecting. Against Bobby Green, I was picking him, but I wasn't overexcited about the pick. You remember that breakdown? I was like a little bit like, like I think he wins, but Bobby could touch him up. He's quicker on the feet. In this one, if Hernandez can stop takedowns, I get it. Ferreira's got a bit of power, but he doesn't have the greatest ability to close that distance. He's not a big multi-shot combination slugger. And if Hernandez stays patient, I think kickboxing could end up coming through nicely. I'll go him for a decision.
Yeah, I was locking Diego Ferreira over Bobby Green. I thought, he's actually a tough matchup for Bobby Green. This is much harder for Diego Ferreira. AJ mentioned it, almost 40 years old, and Alex Hernandez coming off of his career performance. I mean, I don't think Chase Hooper's a bad win at all. I don't think it's just Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper was a favorite coming into the fight. He was looking good. He really looked like he regressed against Alex Hernandez, and you got to give a lot of credit to him. You mentioned it, brother. You have an eye for it. The footwork. The footwork was really nice against Chase Hooper, and it's going to be hard for a jiu-jitsu guy to take Alex Hernandez down. You're stuck on the feet with the kid who's letting his hands go now. He didn't actually throw a lot of punches against Chase Hooper. He was pretty conservative, but I don't even mind that. I like that he was setting traps, being patient, and exploded when he had opportunities and got Chase Hooper out of there. It was the first round, I think. It's first or second? First or second round?
First round.
It was the first round. Yeah, right at the end of the first round. He should be able to have a similar type of game plan against Diego Ferreira and actually be a fucking really hard matchup for Diego Ferreira to deal with. Diego Ferreira beat like a Mateusz Rebecki. I mean, he's got some nice wins, but relatively inactive, aging, and up against a real fucking surging kid. I mean, beat Kurt Halabaugh. I mean, he's got a little streak starting here. I think it continues, bro. I got to go Alex Hernandez in this matchup.
So, I like that. I think it's really a timing of the matchup too, right? Diego Ferreira's, listen, 40, you can still look good, but he hasn't won at 40 yet. I will also put that out there. He's 40 now, got handled by Grant Dawson. It's like now Hernandez on a roll. I'm with it, man. Hernandez is a little bit of a favorite in the spot. Currently, Hernandez sitting at -125. Diego Ferreira +105. I'm going to pick him. I think he can get it done. I think he's going to be fast. I think he's going to be hard to track down. I think he's going to throw good straight shots. I feel like Hernandez also, like, you have to look at him as he is a vet at this point. He's been in the UFC a really long time. He got to the organization young and obviously took a good handful of L's, but like has been in there with good competition, wins over Beneil Dariush, Oliver Aben Mercier, beat the likes of, Chase Hooper last time, Jim Miller in the past, and even his losses, right? You got Renato Moicano back in 2022, Thiago Moises in 2021, Drew Dober in 2020, Cowboy Cerrone in 2019.
Jesus.
He's fought a lot of good opposition.
Right. That's right. That's the famous cowboy combo.
Yeah. Beat his ass.
Yeah. You had to bring that one up, bro. God damn. No, he's 32 years old now, and he's on another level now.
Yeah, I like it. I think Hernandez coming into his own. I gotta recognize the skill set improvement, and I don't think that Diego Ferreira has gotten better over recent years. I think that he still has, a bit of power, and he's got resilience, but Hernandez doesn't need the KO. He can win on the scorecards. Mateusz Rebecki needs knockouts. He doesn't have the gas, right? In that third round, he slows down. He's all heart for sure. And it's impressive that, Diego Ferreira had a comeback against Rebecki, but Rebecki just lost to Chris Duncan, So, yeah, I think Hernandez for the dubs.
And the Michael Johnson KO was all the way back in 2023. This dude's been fighting once a year. The activity of Alex Hernandez matters. It matters that we just saw him in August, bro. It's fucking September. It's a really quick turnaround for him. And I think it works out for him, man. This will be his third fight in 2025. The activity, I can much more accurately anticipate what type of performance I'll see from a Alex Hernandez than I can for a 40-year-old Diego Ferreira.
Let's go. Hernandez, the pick for the Finch. For myself, we're going with him. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Kelvin Gastelum versus Dustin Stoltzfus. I'm picking Kelvin Gastelum, Mike, but I actually sat on this one and I'm like, wow, I'm really feeling a little bit of actual critical thinking needed for the matchup. Like, that freaks me out looking at what level Gastelum was once at, but he hasn't looked great. I mean, his win against D-Rod was kind of a bullshit scenario where he ended up not cutting to 170. They do the fight at middleweight, kind of just wrestled him a bit, but that win hasn't aged that bad. I mean, D-Rod's ranked now at 170. And then you look last time, Kelvin Gastelum got dropped by Joe Pyfer early, but still managed to go the 3 rounds and show the blockhead and insane recovery. Dustin Stoltzfus is not very good. Very karate stance, has that lead hand a little bit high. Okay with punching, decent kicker from the outside, has some grappling, a little bit taller than Gastelum, but when is Gastelum taller at middleweight? I feel like Gastelum can get it on the cards here. I think he can land some bigger shots, maybe even get on top of Stoltzfus. I think this is a KGW incoming. I don't see Stoltzfus handling him. What do you think, Finch?
Fuck. I'm concerned that Kelvin Gastelum is over this fighting shit, bro. I am deeply concerned that Kelvin is over this fighting shit. He was all in at one point. There was a point there where he was giving Izzy a run for his money, and that ship has sailed, bro. He's missed weight twice since then. He's even missed weight at 85, bro. That's fucking crazy. He missed weight at 85, bro. People hate when I talk about it. Whatever. I've sparred Kelvin. I'm fucking longer than Kelvin. I'm 185 sitting here after smashing Cheesecake Factory fucking birthday cake all week. Hot Oreos and shit. I'm getting acne because I'm fucking smashing all these sweets. It was my birthday, bitches. So it's like but yeah, I was striking from distance at Kelvin. Kelvin would beat me in a fist fight. That's not what I'm saying. But he's up at 185, not taking it very seriously against real 185ers. Yeah, I think he can probably get past a Stoltzfus. I think his striking is better than a Stoltzfus. All those years with Rafael Cordero and Benil Dariush and Marvin Vittori and Fabricio Verdum and Giga Chikadze, he is better than Dustin Stoltzfus. But what type of performance do we see him have? Is it just that he doesn't get finished, or is it that he's able to win this decision? Yeah, I'll go with him. But would I bet on this fight? AJ, I would not.
Gastelum is too high risk because it's true what you're saying. Obviously, has taken his diet anything but serious over recent years and doesn't look great physically on the scale. Not that he was ever ripped, really, but doesn't have the discipline. Whereas, like, I know for a fact Stoltzfus does. It's just Stoltzfus doesn't have the talent. Stoltzfus doesn't have the natural ability of timing and slickness in boxing and things of that magnitude, whereas Gastelum has that gift.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Gastelum can do enough to take it on the cards, but if he sold against Stoltzfus and loses a decision, would I be sitting here that flabbergasted by it? Fuck no. Because like you said, Gastelum seems checked out. But I think he can get his hand raised. He still doesn't quit come fight time. Like, let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
If he really was 100% checked out, he would have laid down and said, all right, I'm good. He's still right in fights.
That's fair. He's tough. He's fucking tough, bro.
He's tough.
I mean, he's got a rock.
Yeah. Can't hear you, Finch.
I fucking muted myself somehow.
Oh, shit.
I'm over here fucking with this little thing that goes on my microphone, and somehow I muted myself. Kelvin Gastelum has a cement fucking head, dude.
Yeah.
So and he's got balls. So you got to respect that. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't flinch. So is he getting knocked out by Stoltzfus? No, I don't think so. But he's at a severe size disadvantage, and if he doesn't train as hard as Stoltzfus, he leaves it up to the judges think. I'll go with the better fighter. I think Kelvin Gastelum is better. I do.
Yeah, I'm with it.
He's training hard with Henry Cejudo in Arizona.
Yeah, I think Gastelum, better fighter, finds a way to get his hand raised in a close one. But wrestling advantage, boxing advantage, where he's at a disadvantage is kicks. Stoltzfus got some nice kicking skills. But yeah, it should be a Gastelum W. But my God, betting on him here, minus 250. I don't love it. Stoltzfus plus 210 as the dog. I'll say we're live to go over 2.5 and minus 180. I like Gastelum on the cards. It's plus 150. I'm going with the KG pick. I do think he wins the decision. I do think he'll do enough in this spot. I don't think he should lose to a Stoltzfus. My God, can you imagine the tragic downfall if he loses this one?
Stoltzfus knocked out Marc-Andre Barrial, subbed Punahele Soriano. I mean, he's got wins over some guys with some fucking talent. I don't think Stoltzfus is bankrupt, you know.
No.
But yeah, we're talking about the lower end of the division. Could I imagine it? Yeah, bro. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelvin Gastelum's doing like food truck diaries and shit. I don't know.
Shit.
You know what I mean? Like, like I got love for Kelvin too. I got love for Kelvin. Kelvin's a good dude. But and if he's all in, fuck yeah, I've got him.
Let's go. We're going Gastelum for the pick. We'll see what happens come fight day. I think he can find a way, but definitely, Gastelum. How invested is he into this sport? We'll see. Next fight, featured fight of the night. We got Jared Gordon versus Rafa Garcia. I like Jared Gordon a lot in this one. I think this is a good matchup for him. Jared Gordon's boxing skills are sharp. I think they've been looking better and better each and every fight. Good punch combinations. I mean, if you look at Jared Gordon's resume, as of recent, if you really get the, magnifying glass and look closely, you realize the Nasrat Haqparast fight easily goes his way. You look at a Bobby Green fight in which he was winning before getting headbutted. You look at a Paddy Pimblett fight that he probably should have won. Knockouts of Thiago Moises and Mark Madsen. The Thiago Moises KO was impressive, man. I think Jared Gordon is able to box up Rafa Garcia. Garcia's got a good chin. I think he could absorb some clean shots. I think he could survive. I think he's, tough Mexican style. Tries to wrestle a bit. Gordon defends. Gordon faster on the feet, lands more. Rafa comes forward, but he doesn't have the most slickness to his style, though he has decent straights and he can box a bit in range. I just think Gordon's sharper with his hands and more accurate and effective. I'm going Jared Gordon to take it home. I think decision is live, but he could end up landing a counter shot KO.
Yeah, man. He's I think Jared, especially the Thiago Moises knockout, man, he's looking pretty good right now. I think Paddy's gotten a lot better since that fight, but yeah, you could have given him that was close. That was a close one. A lot of clinching and shit, but that was a close fight. As to Rafa Garcia, he's got some power in his hands, but I do believe that he's not as talented with the boxing. That's a good breakdown of it. Rafa Garcia, one thing to mention, nasty guillotine. He's got a submission ability, but is Jared Gordon even going there? I don't think so. I think Jared Gordon's actually a pretty bad matchup for Rafa Garcia. I see it like you do, brother.
Gordon should win, I think. Minus 220 for Gordon, plus 185 for Rafa. I like the chances. Over 2.5, minus 300. Gordon's got 2 of his most recent wins, both knockout wins. But Rafa Garcia, I'd say relatively on the durable side. His KO loss was against Grant Dawson, but it was ground and pound. Wasn't striking. I do think he gets boxed up, though. I think that Gordon clearly boxes him up. I'm thinking back to the Chris Grutzmacher fight for Rafa Garcia when he got his face boxed off there. And I'm like, yo, if he can do it, I don't care how many years ago it was, Gordon definitely is doing it. I think Gordon looks nice in this fight.
Yeah, I think so. It matchup. I like him fighting a short Rafa Garcia too. They are in Mexico. They're not in Mexico. It's the fucking Noche card. Where are they at?
They're doing it in San Antonio, Texas, bro.
Jesus Christ.
They moved it. It was supposed to be in Mexico.
They're going to do Noche at the Frost Bank Center in Texas. Oh, definitely. He doesn't even have the fucking advantage because look at all the French fighters ended up winning. How many dogs, you know? Imavov was a dog. Imavov's Russian, but he's French.
He's a French Russian.
You heard Kyle before the fight. He was like, you know, you're supposed to hate the Russians, you know, the history between France and Russia. He was going in. I think Rafa Garcia being short is a problem. I think that Jared Gordon's going to be able to put combinations on him. Maybe he gets him out of there, man. Yeah, I could imagine a Jared Gordon knockout. I was worried about a bad decision, so that takes that off the table.
I like it. Listen.
Big cage?
Yeah, big cage for sure.
So
it's Jared Gordon.
Move around and box. Yeah, I think Jared Gordon's going to look good.
Yeah, I like Jared Gordon, man. High confidence pick for me. I think he handles business. Let's keep running. Let's get to our co-main event of the evening. It's Rob Font versus David Martinez. Originally was supposed to be Rob Font versus Raul Rosas. Rosas injured, pulls out. Martinez steps in. He was supposed to fight Quang Lee on the card, which I like. The fact that Martinez was already on the card, I like for him here. He was training. He was in camp. Rob Font was preparing for a completely different style. He was training for a grappler, for pressure wrestling. Rob Font has showed me evidence of slowing down. His jab against Cody Garbrandt was amazing. His straight shots against Adrian Yanez were insane. Against John Matsumoto, because of that fake glove touch into the right hand, he got that decision. And I'll say it honestly, he was my savage dog lock that week. But if not for that moment, probably loses the decision to Matsumoto. Is he getting better? I don't think so. David Martinez is a doctor by day, fighter by night. This is the craziest shit. But I like David Martinez's kicking ability a lot. I like his ability to close distance. He has the karate background, and they tend to be incredibly skillful at darting in and out of range. I'm going to go with Martinez, Mike Finch. I'm feeling some. I think Rob Font's past his prime. I wasn't blown away by the John Matsumoto fight. I think David Martinez is really good. He's a blue chip prospect for sure. I just think the style might be favorable towards him. And Rob Font, you know, first preparing for the grappling style. Now they switch it to a striker. I can see it close, but I think Martinez does more. Also, Martinez, the younger guy at 27, a lot more upside. I just think Rob Font, it's like he is showing signs of slowing down. I can't do it with Rob Font, man. I'm going to go with David Martinez to find a way to win. I'm picking him.
Damn. It's such a different fight than Raul Rosas Jr.
Right?
Yeah. They really did his opposite day. But on Noche, you got Martinez coming up. 27 years old versus what, 38?
Yeah. At bantamweight.
I came here to pick Rob Font. Rob Font is on, you know, Gene Matsumoto is a good striker. Rob Font was able to outstrike him. Kyler Phillips, not great. But you know, Rob Font, my issue with him is more so like him getting put on his back. You know, he's got the boxing advantage here.
It's been looking worse, yes or no?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a 38-year-old bantamweight. Yeah. But he's, you know, he's fought better competition. I mean,
Definitely.
I've never seen David Martinez beat anybody. I mean, who was he fighting? Simon Oliveira.
It was impressive the way he handled him.
That's true. Don't convince me live on air, bro. Don't fucking do this.
I just think David Martinez, I like his levels of stand-up, from his leg attack to the body attack to the head strikes to the kicks that he throws up high to the arms. Like, I just think there's something about it. I don't know, man. No chain card, Mexican prospect that seems to have a lot of upside, a striker, an aging Rob Font, a Rob Font that he was blessed that he got the Matsumoto win. And Matsumoto's good, and Matsumoto's a striker, but I think David Martinez, striking-wise, has better range, better from distance, and a better ability to close the gap and throw in range. You notice with Matsumoto, he has that real Thai style. He's a little short with some of his punches. Martinez is not. That's why I like Martinez here.
I'm going to say because Martinez stepped up on short notice, it will be an issue. You know, I think Rob Font being a veteran matters. Rob Font's UFC experience matters. Do I think Rob Font's like on his way to a title shot? No. I mean,
no.
And I don't even think he's at his best, but I don't think Martinez is either. You know, I think Martinez has room to grow. He's going to give Rob Font a run for his money. I do. The thing that is making a lot of sense to me is the range issues. Like you talking about the kicking from range, you know, but I'm going to say Rob Font deals with it, puts pressure on this kid, finds a way to grind out this decision, is a veteran, maybe even uses some grappling. Like, give me Rob Font decision, but yeah, I'm not touching it for a bet. You made some good points.
Let's go. Martinez is plus 120. He's barely a dog here. Font minus 140. I would have loved to have seen wider odds, but I don't know. I mean, at open, it was plus 145. It didn't even open crazy. Over 2.5 is minus 300. Font decision sits at plus 110. Martinez decision plus 210. Martinez is a violent finisher, though. He has a Contender Series decision win against Xavier Franklin. That was the first time he had ever won by decision. He has 10, actually the second time, excuse me. He has 10 victories by KO. The guy's a killer. I don't know, man. The fact that he's a doctor too is a very interesting human being, right?
Takes a lot of time to be a doctor, bro. My little sister Megan is trying to become a doctor. She's in school right now, bro. It is a grind. I mean, you know, Rob Font has spent a lot of hours purely focused training with the New England cartel, fucking spending all that time in the UFC. I think it matters. I think he finds a way to be a veteran, to move into the kicks, to put his hands, extend that jab out there. He's got a nice jab. But yeah, Martinez will give him a run for his money. I don't love that Martinez stepped up on short notice. I will admit I was going to pick Raul Rosas Jr., but that's because we've seen the takedown defense issue with Rob Font. Totally different matchup. It's very strange.
We'll see. Is it good timing on David Martinez, or does Font hold that spot and send back the prospect? Find out Saturday. Let's jump to the main event of the evening. If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you all hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. It's Diego Lopes versus Jean Silva. I'm picking Jean Silva to win, Mike Finch. I like his chances a lot in this fight. Looking at the style, his striking in Jean Silva being so comfortable on the back foot is an element of this fight that I like a lot. He is comfortable counter striking. Diego Lopes, good forward pressure and very dangerous in the pocket. But Jean Silva has good strike awareness from a defensive manner. He has good accuracy on his punches. I think that, like, if you look at some of his recent wins, right? You look at the performance against Drew Dober, right? I feel like that was the true masterclass of precision striking against a big, powerful lightweight on short notice. He beat his ass in the stand-up. And as Dober's ripping these big shots, Jean Silva's avoiding pretty much all of them. You look at the Bogdasarian fight, the gamesmanship. He's high-fiving him, he's taunting him, and then he knocks him out. And you look against Bryce Mitchell, he showed submission skills against the grappler. I think John Silva's a special talent, and I'll make comparisons to his ability to fight off the back foot to Volkanovski. Obviously different than Volk, but there is an element to that I see similar with their styles. Lopes is the bull, the pressure, but I think he's going to be getting hit way too much in this fight. I see him thudded up with a lot of punches throughout. The Lopes chin seems quite good, and I think John Silva could be patient and win a decision if need be. But there's a chance that he slices up Diego Lopes with some type of elbow and we see a doctor stoppage or a later stage TKO. I'm going John Silva to win, and I'm feeling good about it. He represents the fighting nerds, and he is the last of the undefeated fighting nerds. And I'll tell you this, he's the best of the bunch. He can wrestle defensively. He can grapple. He definitely can strike, and he can counter strike too. John Silva is a special fighter, and he's getting his hand raised against the gritty, the tough, the explosive, the scary Diego Lopes. But it's a John Silva performance, Mike Finch.
Gene Silva he seems like a bad matchup for Diego Lopes. You know, Diego Lopes likes to bang a little bit. That hair starts flying around. He likes to go punch for punch with you. Gene Silva stands much more sideways, much more in and out. He trains with all these Muay Thai guys who have a little touch of karate in there. Caio Barallo, right? Even Mr. Muay Thai himself, Carlos Prates. They have a bit of an ability at range as to where if you go to like Thailand Muay Thai, they're playing the fucking thing, they're wearing the headbands, they just like stand in front of each other. You know, you could say Brazilian Muay Thai even is different, right? So yeah, Gene Silva really adopts that. He has an ability to close distance and be explosive with his legs as well. And I think that physicality, that explosiveness, that ability to control range is going to be able to get him to Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes has a Kelvin Gastelum head, but if somebody's going to finish him in this division, I think Gene Silva's the one, brother. I'm going to go Gene Silva knockout. It might be a body shot. He might be able to finish via TKO. I think he blasts Diego Lopes because of the way their styles are going to clash. My one caveat to this is that I think Gene Silva could gas out in a 5-round fight. You know, if you bring that dog out of him, literally barking, right? If you bring that dog out of him, you make him get into a fight where they're both bleeding, you make him miss big shots. You guys see how Balaji Oki he hurt Mason Jones, and then he just kept missing big shot after home run swing after home run swing, and then he fucking gassed out and got TKO'd. You know, you can imagine a Gene Silva who sees a wobble Diego Lopes, fucking goes for it. Diego Lopes bites down on that mouthpiece, stays in the fight, and then in 3, 4, and 5 is starting to take over a tired Gene Silva. I think that's the best pathway for him, but I'm going to pick the more explosive striker, the guy who's going to control better at range, and a guy who's going to be hard to grapple with as well in Gene Silva. I like it, the best fighting nerd. I never really thought about it that way, but that might be right. He's a real fucking bully, and he's up against a guy who, you know, is a bit known for being able to absorb some damage. It's not necessarily the best trait. I think that Gene Silva finds the shots to get a very durable Diego Lopes out of there within the first 2-3 rounds.
Let's go. Mike Finch and I both on the right side of history. We're both going with John Silva to handle.
On Noche, how dare we?
Listen,
how pissed off is the comment section?
Listen, he's a Mexican, but he's a Brazilian. You know what I'm saying? Silva by KO is -120. They're expecting a knockout for him. That's crazy.
Overhyped dork is losing. Wow, they're pissed, bro.
No, but his style, watch the tape and then tell me Diego Lopes. Other than he closes the gap, lands big shots, grapples a bit, then Silva fatigues and he gets a KO. Like if you're talking about precision skill set, dude, Silva's he's good, man. Accurate.
Silva hasn't fought anyone even close to Diego Lopes. KZ, I don't think Diego Lopes is as good as you think he is, brother. Diego Lopes loops his shit. I think Volkanovski really showed how you could just control range on him. You know, if we see a patient Gene Silva, I think that would be a very smart thing here too. I think either way he plays it, he's a pretty bad matchup for Diego Lopes.
I like Gene Silva's patience. He shows it, man. He's willing to fight off the back foot. It's not like he's just this reckless pressure fighter that needs a first-round KO. He can do it over the distance. I think he's going to have 5-round cardio. I think John Silva is the special talent. And I think John Silva beats Diego Lopes, and depending on this Lerone Murphy-Volkanovski fight, John Silva is going to be right up there for a title fight. And you're telling me that John Silva versus Volkanovski is not one of the biggest fights the UFC can make
That's
right
sick.
now. Come on. That's perfection. I get it. Lerone Murphy's win was awesome, but it's Aaron Pico making a UFC debut. If he beats Lopes, especially if it's more impressive than the champ did, that might be cutting him up in line. And Lerone Murphy might have to fight Movsar Evloev for a real #1 contender fight, which I think would be fair as well.
I'm watching this chat. They're talking about Lopes getting takedowns. Lopes is not a wrestler. You know, he's got jiu-jitsu. I think he's a jiu-jitsu coach in Mexico.
Yes.
Which, like, you know, if you're coaching, like, bro, you're making a fucking run at you just fought for the world title. You're right up there ranked. Like, you know, I don't think being a coach is a great idea right now for Diego Lopes. I think he should really focus on his career. Gene Silva has one job. Okay. It's knocking people the fuck out. So I think he'll be hard to take down. I think the range matters. Look, we've seen the hole in the fighting nerds. Okay. It's the grappling. So Diego Lopes probably will try it. If any of them are going to be able to defend takedowns, it seems to be Silva.
I think so. Gene Silva is a favorite in the spot around -260. So it is, you know, a line you're going to have to play on him, but I think in a parlay definitely could be something to talk about. Finch and I are going to give you guys the parlay, but it's not just going to be the parlay. We ought to also preview the boxing this weekend. But let's make some magic happen. You ready for parlay time, Mike Finch?
Let's run it.
Let's go.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah. Parlay time. I'm going to go with, I didn't even finish it. The fuck, what is the actual song, right? Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Let me put the lights on. Everybody get the fuck out of here. I know who I want to take me home. Who do I want to take me home? How about this 19? No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. That was a bad joke. Married man, y'all. Married man. Hey, right now is a good time to drop it, okay? I'm going to drop it because I haven't said it on this show, have I? We have announced that my wife is pregnant, guys. I got Haley pregnant, y'all. I did it. It works. It fucking works, guys. Let's go. I'm going to have a baby girl, or anticipate having a baby girl, God willing, on Valentine's Day. So very excited about that.
Let's
chat.
go.
Very
Let's
fucking
go.
excited.
Father Finch, guys. W Father Finch in chat.
Yes. Leveling up.
Too. My guys back at it. I have Reese plus Hernandez. Hey, thank you for 199. Mitchell 10.
That is really strange. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
All right. You know what? Son of a B. We gotta go with, oh shit, I got a couple I like, AJ. This is difficult as fuck. I fucking dunked on Cedric Dumas on this show. Let's just run it, bro. I gotta go Zach Reese over Cedric Dumas as the first leg of the parlay, just because you know, I brought the heat on Cedric Dumas on this one. I better put my money where my mouth is here.
I'm gonna go with John Silva to get the fight nerds back on track. I believe in him. I think he can pull through. I think he pulls it together. I know
a cool parlay. I like that.
Yeah. I think those two together is quality. Looking at the odds, we got John Silva at the top. We got Zach Reese up against them. Let's see, or up with them. You got -106 range. You might find it at better odds, to be honest with you.
You guys want to know a secret?
What?
I already bet that parlay yesterday.
That's a great parlay, Mike Finch. Hey.
I already bet that parlay yesterday.
Let's go.
You
I
got
like it.
me, AJ. You got me. There are other parlays I like on this card. There are other bets I like on this card. If you guys want to see what I'm thinking, I'm going to give my 5 most confident picks right after this. Week after week, I've been going 4 out of 5. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. You know, I
So
guess
good.
you just got to find the egg, you know, you just got to, I'm going to give you 5 and you got to find the dud, you know? So,
Yeah.
4 out of 5 week after week. This last week, it was Mauricio Rufy who fucked it up for me. So it is what it is. Let's go 5 out of 5 this week. I'll see you guys in a few minutes over on the dark side.
Finchman, aka the dark side, is the place to be. Make sure you guys go watch the Mike Finch show, doing his most confident picks, and make sure you watch my contender series picks. I got the links to both. Click on my contender series. You can put it to watch later. Then you can go watch Mike Finch. Finchman, I'm excited for Noche. It's not the Noche of last year, but it's still a badass main event and some intriguing matchups throughout the card. But we're not done yet, Mike Finch. You thought that we were signing off. We got something else. I want to do a little Finchman and AJ preview. If you want to give a pick, you can. If not, just tell me what you think. I want to kind of discuss, the mentality around this forthcoming high-level boxing super fight between Canelo and Crawford. So let's just bring up the graphic that I got made for you guys right here. And let's see. Bam.
Boom. There we go. Hey, it's an epic fight. I mean, you got Canelo Alvarez, who's been the man for a decade. I mean, you know, even when he first fought Floyd Mayweather, he was such a big prospect, big name. And Floyd's like, I better fucking beat this kid, because he knew what Canelo would become. And he was dead right. Canelo became, you know, the star from Mexico. Canelo even adopted Floyd's style. I mean, just look, he can go forward and hunt you. He could hide behind that shoulder and move his head so he's not hittable. He's bigger than Crawford. I think it's going to be, he's a harder puncher than Crawford. Crawford, unbelievably talented, faster than Canelo. I think the speed is a problem here. This thing could be down to the wire. This thing could have split decision. I am very hard pressed to pick a winner in this one. I mean, the slight lean is for Canelo because of the size, but I don't know what Canelo we get. You know, sometimes you get this explosive marauder Canelo. Sometimes you get the defensive genius Canelo. And sometimes you get a Canelo who's a little bit flat, a little bit not fast. I can't say slow. But, you know, the better Biev fight. I mean, but again, these guys are big as fuck. You know, this is a small, fast guy fighting Canelo. Such an interesting matchup. I'm fascinated to watch it. I do not have a bet on it. I believe it's very hard to predict.
You know, I have a feeling we could see a draw between these two. It wouldn't shock me either. They set up the rematch. If it's close, it ends up being even down the line. Especially with boxing, right? You see draws in these type of fights often, like the Golovkin-Canelo fight #1. I think, though, that Terence Crawford is technically one of the most special boxers of this generation, as is Canelo. But Crawford's ability to stance switch, his ability to time shots, I think he can win a competitive one with Canelo Alvarez. I think he can get it on the cards. But I don't think they give him the decision. If it's close enough and Canelo has some moments, I could see it being a majority draw or a split draw. I don't know. I'm kind of seeing this fight even down the line. I'm going to say it's a damn draw. I feel like that's what ends up coming to fruition, but I'm going to pick Crawford officially. I just have a hunch. It's Mexican Independence Day. Even if Crawford doesn't, if there's a close round, I think it goes Canelo, and I think they could end up giving an even fight down the center, even if Crawford maybe deserves it at the end by a tad, and they do it again. That's what I'm thinking with boxing.
Picking a draw in boxing is not as crazy as it sounds to you MMA fans, you know?
I know. It's not.
Especially at this level.
Yeah.
They like it.
They like it.
So.
They like an even fight. I think that we could see Crawford win 7 out of 5, but then another judge has it 7-5 Canelo, and then one has it 6-6. Something like that. Yeah,
I like that. Crawford probably more on the peak of his prime, probably faster. and very special. And Canelo Alvarez, I mean, you know, the most famous boxer in the world right now, I would say, you know, so it's a cool matchup. I'm hoping to see them at their best. You know, I would just hate to see like a flat vegan performance from Canelo Alvarez. You know, I want to see Canelo Alvarez explosive, technically sound, aggressive. Hopefully it's a badass fight. Dana White promoting it. It's crazy to see.
Embedded.
Yeah. What's that?
There's an embedded for it. They're doing an embedded series. Very
so cool. I mean, it's the promotion for this fight is so unique, and it deserves it. You know, you don't always get to see the best fight the best in boxing. You don't even always get it in MMA, but you get it more often. It's cool to see that we had, you know, Tyson Fury and Usyk, you know, give us 2 fights. We're gonna get Canelo and Terrence Crawford. It's dope.
Let's go. I'm going for the side of Crawford, but I feel like draw might be coming. Should be a good one. Listen, Finch, you got confident picks for us. I know you want to do your show. Any final words for the people?
I love y'all. Thank you for tons of love on the baby announcement. Thank you guys very much. If you want to donate to the baby registry, it's at I'm just kidding. Yeah, excited to be a dad. I turned 33 on Thursday. Wifey and I celebrated our 6-year wedding anniversary on Monday. I just started with you know, this MMA promotion, Lights Out. A lot going on for me, bro. So
let's go. I'm proud of you, Finch. I'm happy for you, man. Hey,
thank you, buddy.
Love you guys. Hit the likes on your way out. Subscribe if you're new, and catch me for the lunchtime live tomorrow afternoon. Don't miss the Contender Series picks. They're already up, and the Finch man's doing most confident. So go watch them. It's pinned in the live chat. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.